Oh, yes, we are now live. Hello, everybody. Welcome, everyone. How are you? I am Alicia, Dr. Alicia, and I'm so glad you guys are here with us tonight. This is a very, very special discussion we're going to have today. And it is honestly, this discussion does not happen enough, but it affects so many women every single day. And we are talking about the 3M experience. Y'all know what the 3M experience is? It is money, menopause, and mental health. And what I've seen in my work is that many, many women are experiencing this. And it is that these things aren't separate issues. So they're deeply connected and often carried with silence. So tonight, we are creating a space to bring these conversations forward with honesty. We're going to have definitely compassion, but we're also going to have solutions. So I am joined today by three wonderful women. I have, first of all, I want to introduce to everybody we have an upcoming event. Everybody, an upcoming event. I'm going to put it in the chat for everybody who is in the who wants to fly into Illinois and come to this great event. It is called the 3M, and we're going to spend some time discussing in live and in person a live event upcoming about this beautiful topic concerning menopause, mental health, and we got to get our money right. And it's wellness meets wealth, and it's taking place the last Sunday of the month, March 29th, 2026, in Elmhurst, Illinois. Y'all know the suburbs of Chicago. And it's from noon to 4 p.m. and lunch is included. The link to sign up is in the comment section. So with that, I got to introduce Miss Dominique Craver. She is the host. She's hosting this upcoming event. And so, Dominique, how about you introduce yourself to everybody and tell us a little bit about yourself and about this beautiful event. And then before we get right into our topic for today.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening. So I am a healthcare provider by trade, and I essentially also am in the life insurance and retirement space as well. And so the idea came about for wanting to have this event came about. I'm entering that season. I'm quite sure, after 40, you start entering that season of menopause, and you start thinking about retirement, and you start thinking about just life. You start thinking about how you have more years behind you than ahead of you. So the idea came from one of the speakers who she wasn't able to join us tonight. She had an event last year that pretty much it was about menopause, and I was like, wow. I was like, I need to probably be in that space because you always hear about hot flashes, mood swings, but you really don't know about menopause. So I was like, oh wow, I'm like, this would be great to kind of bring these topics together and put it with money, because that's also some of the things that us ladies are starting to think about after we turn, I'm gonna say 40, and so the idea actually was birthed last year, and so I wanted to bring it into manifest it this year. And my co-host, which is Dr. Tiffany Delane, who you'll be hearing from shortly, I brought the idea to her, and she was like, oh yeah, we should do it. So that's how the idea came about, us wanting to have this event and to basically just bring education and knowledge to the people, because our people, we don't know what we don't know. And with me being a healthcare provider and going, I see patients on a daily basis. We only have 10 minutes with a patient. So you really can't get the things that you want to talk to your doctor out in that 10 or 15 minute time span. So I wanted to bring all of these topics together because me personally, again, I'm not sure if I'm in menopause, but I want to learn more about it. I am not a women's health practitioner. I am an emergency medicine provider. So, I know some symptoms, but I wanted to learn and glean off of my fellow good friend Deanne, which she will be there herself on the next Sunday. So I think that's all I have. So we can.
Okay. So, okay, you're in emergency medicine. So I guess you don't have to deal with it on the front end of everything. But let me go with Miss Tiffany, Dr. Tiffany Delane. How about you? You call yourself a gym strategist. So I'm very curious about that. How about you, Dr. Tiffany? Introduce yourself and talk about what's on your mind with this beautiful topic.
Sure. Hello, everybody. Thanks again for joining us this evening. And I really hope that you can join us on Sunday. But tonight we're going to introduce a couple topics to you, the 3M. So, money, mental health, and menopause. So, a little bit about my background. Yes, my name is Dr. Tiffany. I do call myself the gym strategist. And what I do is I empower women to develop, deliver, and design their ideal business using their skills, their knowledge, their given talents, and abilities that they already have. So, not having to go back to school, get a certificate or education, and pivot that into an ideal business and brand. But on top of that, I am like Dominique, an emergency medicine practitioner. I've been practicing medicine as a physician assistant for over 2 decades, and mainly in emergency medicine and urgent care, and also a little bit of family practice. And this is the time in our age where we're kind of midlife. We have things that are going on with our bodies that sometimes you do not feel comfortable talking about out loud. And then this is a safe space as well as on Sunday for us to talk about those conversations about mindset, talk about those stigmas in our community, especially in Black and Brown communities, about mental health and even about money. And I hope we dig in today. I'm not the money expert about what is your relationship with money. And so I hope we do talk about that a little bit later on. So I'm just super excited about tonight's conversation and to carry that through on Sunday. So hopefully you guys got some good questions for us this evening.
Oh, that is so wonderful. Nice to meet. I'm very impressed, Dr. Tiffany. Yes. The PA program. Wonderful. Okay. So Kiana, how about you come on in and introduce yourself to everybody. And it says coins to wealth. So we are going to talk about money tonight, y'all.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Alicia. Thank you, Dominique and Dr. Tiffany, for putting this amazing event together to really bring Women's History Month to a close this month. What a way to close Women's History Month. Join us next Sunday, March 29th at noon in Elmhurst, I must say. But yes, my name is Kiana Hughes. I am officially the agency owner. I run a national multi-seven-figure insurance brokerage where we specialize on helping everyday hardworking individuals really be in a position to transform their coins to wealth. Many people in our communities, everyday hardworking middle-class Americans, work very hard for many years. Many of you all joining us tonight maybe have been working for years, 10, 15, 20, 30 plus years, who knows? But at the end of the day, we naturally keep finding ourselves with this underlining narrative of, I don't know if I have enough coins for this. I don't know if I have enough coins for that. I don't know if I have enough coins. And many people are retiring, not having enough coins, not feeling certain about their retirement. And so I've been blessed to transition out of corporate America. I am an ex-corporate executive. I worked for many, many years. I have a bachelor's in marketing. I have my master's in advertising and public relations. And I used to represent some of the largest consumer brands, companies that many of you all joining us this evening may have in your homes right now. From J.M. Smucker, Jif Peanut Butter, Smucker's Jam, Whirlpool, Ulta Beauty were just three of my top clients. But I, too, found myself someone that started working at a very early age, 14 to be exact. And still, by the time I got into my mid-30s, still in my corporate career, I was still broke. I was still living check to check with the degrees. I am that person. I am that person that did everything that we were told to do. But at the end of the day, the coins and the math just wasn't mathing. And I realized that I had to approach life differently. I had to learn the rules of the money game. I had to figure out what our counterparts knew that our community did not know. So much so that I went and became a licensed broker also within the insurance sector. And what many people do not know is that the insurance sector is the financial foundation of America. However, for many Black and Brown individuals, we only know it through one lens, and that's a death benefit. And that is actually really harming us long term. What you do not know can actually hurt you. And so I'm here to just add a little sauce to the money game about how money really works and how really becoming educated, how really adjusting and really finding out how your money blueprint work, and ultimately how we can scale long term, because financial stress does absolutely affect us mentally, and it harms you, and it leads to a lot of mental health. And so I'll be speaking more on that angle for.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this, because the title of our presentation, our title of our topic today is Before March 29th. Everybody needs to hear this conversation. Y'all just heard everybody introduce themselves. Listen, we come with a wealth of knowledge, and I don't know if anyone, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Alicia Watkins. I have been a licensed therapist for 22 years. I've been teaching at a university for 18 years. I've been studying mental health. I wrote my dissertation on women. And I will tell you, these three topics, menopause. I mean, this is like a scary thing for a lot of us women. It is like your body is going through all of these different changes, but you feel embarrassed to talk about it. Think about it. My mental health, if you're struggling with anxiety, depression, sadness, and grief, you're struggling and you're too embarrassed sometimes, many of us, to talk about this. And getting your money, when you said working for years and you're scared because you don't think you have enough coins, that's sad sometimes. So these three topics definitely come together. It made sense to me when I saw this. And I just want to thank you guys, or whoever it was that thought of me to come and contribute to this dialogue that is very much needed. So let me talk to the audience here. I see you, Deborah. Look at Deborah. Deborah's here. Welcome, Deborah. How you doing? Look at her. She says, come sauce to the money game. We need this in the Black community. Thank you, Deborah, for joining us. People in the chat, where the ladies at in the chat? Y'all raise your hand. Let us know. We're the mature ladies, us mature 40 and up. If you ain't dealing with menopause, you definitely are going to. It's coming your way. So let's talk about it now. Good evening, Deborah. And anyone else that wants to have any questions that you have for our wonderful guest, please put it in the chat. And in the chat, let us know, what do you think? These three topics, it's scary. And so we're going to have these conversations today. And I think I kind of talked about it a little bit, but I'm wondering, maybe we'll start with you, Dominique. Why do you think these topics are so hard for women to talk about openly? Why is it so difficult for us to just dive right in and talk about a lot of these three topics here? It's so pressing for us.
Oh, am I unmuted? Okay. I was like, because I put myself on mute. I think it's hard because we are, naturally, we carry everything. Because of our nature as women, we carry babies. So we just kind of learn how to carry just things in life. And we learn to just cope and just keep moving through life. And really, we ignore ourselves until our bodies begin to break down. I think that, like, as I said, being a healthcare provider and knowing, how the healthcare system is, and how when you do go to your doctor's appointment, how it is, 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops. So you really can't get everything out that you want to talk to your doctor about. And so, and people don't write things down. They just, I'm going for my annual visit, but they don't really sit down and talk with their doctors. I find myself, I'm trying to take care of patients on the medical side. I find myself, I feel like I'm a therapist sometimes. I'm like, and I'm like, I got to keep moving, but I stop and I pause and I say, so, we got to peel this onion back. Like, what really brought you to the emergency room? Because it doesn't seem like, and sometimes people just want to talk, and you don't have that space when you go to the doctor sometimes to talk about it. And so, as I said, I just kind of wanted to, bring people together in a safe space to just be like, oh, wow, I didn't know that. Or just to, you know, to gain some knowledge and resources to know, hey, this is what I need to be doing with, my, okay, I'm entering into menopause, or hey, I'm not ready to retire right now, or hey, yeah, I'm dealing with some mental challenges, the stresses of life are really weighing me down. And so, like I said in the beginning, us ladies, we just tend to carry a lot of things, and we just learn how to cope, and we just keep moving through life and not really taking care of ourselves. So I think
that is so smart, because it's like, I'm going into menopause, or maybe it turns into a question, am I going into menopause? What's this thing I'm seeing about premenopause? What is this I'm talking about? Like, really, perimenopause? What is that? How's that different from menopause? Like, there's so many questions, and we don't have anybody to talk to about it sometimes. And I see Deborah's here saying, okay, I know my mom and grandma didn't discuss any of these topics with me. Like, this is common. See, Dr. Tiffany, what are you seeing? Are you seeing conversations being had openly? I sure haven't recently.
They are not having
up until recently. I'm starting to see it, but historically, no.
Exactly. And just like your guest,
Dr. Tiffany, what have you seen?
Yeah. So just like your guest Deborah said, our parents and grandparents did not talk about it. They just did not talk about it before.
Hey, Dr. Tiffany,
are you guys able to hear me? Let's see.
Oh, maybe she's frozen. Okay. Well,
we can hear her. We can hear her.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. So sorry. Okay. If you can hear me,
hear Dr. Tiffany?
I can.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Some of you guys. Okay. Sorry, you guys. If you can hear me, I was going to say some of our parents did not talk about it. I know my parents did not talk about it when she was going through menopause, and I just had to kind of think back and say, oh, I remember my mom saying that she was hot, but not actually talking about and relating it to menopause. The other thing is that we have shame. So we want to be strong in our communities and show that we're strong, but there could be some kind of shame and stigma against talking about mental health, talking about, oh, I don't have my money right, I can't pay for my groceries, or I don't have any insurance. And then we also want to talk about also the social barriers, those structures that we have. I do study a lot about health disparities and healthcare disparities. And as soon as you get that diagnosis on your chart for a mental health diagnosis, that could keep you from getting health benefits, that can keep you from getting a job. And so a lot of people just do not talk about it. So they don't get the help that they need, and it gets delayed.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. My internet must have broken up a little bit. I couldn't hear all of it. But yeah, so I mean, some of the skepticism of disclosing to a professional about what's going on inside and having that label follow you around, there's a good reason why people should feel stigmatized by that. And that's a barrier. That is a barrier to getting the services that you really need.
Definitely.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for pointing some of that out, the shame and the stigma that's rightfully so. And so it makes sense that we have to come up with some creative avenues of making sure that people's needs aren't just left unmet. And you bring up a really good point. That's a really legitimate issue. So yeah, and it's funny, even in my practice, it's a lot of people are cash pay because they just don't want that label tied to them. And you have to label somebody in order to get some insurance. So a lot of the people just come, and I do a sliding scale for everybody because I understand about the money. Kiana, I understand how the money is always like an issue. So that's really good. I wonder, like, I think I want to take it to the money question, Kiana. You mentioned that you were working since you were 14 years old, and you get into a certain pattern, and you're like, what do I have to show for it?
Yes.
What do I have to show for it?
Yes.
And menopause is almost like a reminder that the next half of your life is there. And so you can't forget, and it's on our mind in these here economic times. We have to, and it's not even just the stress, but it's the stressor. it's the dangling possibility. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, and with increase in everything's getting more expensive, that has to have an impact on your mental health. It has to have an impact on how you see things, and it has an impact on your body. It's the mind spirit connection and body connection. Weigh in on this piece about getting the confidence you need to make sure that you're making good money decisions.
Yeah, I would say I believe gaining the confidence, many people don't realize that confidence simply comes from clarity. And oftentimes we're not clear on where we're going financially, or actually being honest with ourselves about what we actually need to have financially to truly not only just get by and like barely make ends meet, but how much do I actually need to build a true financial safe harbor for myself and my family, and actually live life where I just don't have the weight of the world on me. And naturally what happens is we're born and raised. I saw Deborah speaking like my mom, my grandmother never taught me things. The reality is many everyday hardworking middle class Americans, and then especially just many women, period, we saw our moms and our grandmothers, I know for me I did, saw them literally be the backboards of the family. Like literally everything fell on them, like independent woman all the way, superwoman all the way. And we're often don't realize that we're raised in families and in societies where all we know is survival. Yeah. All we know is how to survive and go to work. And what ends up happening is we end up working, and we're not paying attention to the signs and the symptoms of financial stress that ultimately transitions into mental health. Or for many African American women, I know last year I started doing a little bit more research into a lot of African American women, specifically strong Black women, experience high functioning depression.
Yes.
And we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that we're going to work and we're just working, and we become numb. It's like you're not even realizing the symptoms you're going through. You're not processing. You're like, I just got to get by. And ultimately that mental stress of survival mode is decreasing our joy. We're just going through life. We're not even really looking forward to things anymore. We're just like, I got to do this because I have to do this. Mm-hmm. A lot of women, when it comes to money, we're not even looking at it to say, okay, what do we like anymore? What do we want to do? And I share with a lot of people that I meet with daily and my team that works with me that there is ultimately 4 phases to income. But the first one is survival. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, majority of African Americans, Hispanics live most of our lives in survival mode. We never even experience the other 3, which is status, then freedom, then purpose. And so ultimately, it's like to gain that confidence, we have to do more research. We have to be more disciplined. We have to take action into our hands. We have to pick back up the books and actually read to find out what's happening around us, what our options are, what resources are available to us. I can tell you all hands down, a book that changed my life when it comes to finances is The Secret of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker.
Okay.
The Secret of a Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker really breaks down the money blueprint of many everyday hardworking middle class Americans and just the mindset that we have overall. So if we just start doing the research, we get clear about what we really want, and we be real with ourselves, I'm a strong believer that we all should be wealthy.
And you know what else we need to do? We need to tell people no. We need to put some healthy boundaries up, because we're so socialized. Where if Johnny don't have no money, we're going to make sure baby going to have what he need. He not going to be left without anything. And baby he going to have his everything. And so we're putting the needs of other people ahead of our own needs. People come to us for, if they're stressed out and they're worried, they lay all of their problems on us. We are carrying the emotional weight of families.
Yes.
They come to us and we're carrying it, and we're counseling and praying and all that stuff. And we're not even going to anybody to talk about what's happening with us because we're so busy taking care of everybody else.
Yes.
And it has to have an impact on us. I mean, it is really, and then when we drop the ball, internalizing that and saying, what is wrong with me? Why am I not doing it right? Like, what's going on? And I have to do this for everybody else. And that is our role. And it is just not healthy. We need to not be embarrassed to ask for help. Heck, can y'all ask for I see there's a lot of people in here watching right now.
Yeah.
Ladies, can you ask for help when you need it? Or can you ask for financial help when you need it without feeling bad about it? I mean, these things are just barriers because it's like, if I ask for help, then I'm going to internalize it and think, well, there must be something wrong with me. Asking for help is not a weakness. It really is a strength to say, I can't do it all by myself. This strong Black woman is impossible.
Can I add something there, Dr. Alicia? Absolutely. I see someone that works with me mentioned in the comments, as you're saying, like, we have to say no. I am an avid believer that yes is a very expensive word.
Yeah.
And we say yes too often to people. And then when it comes to the fact you mentioned of asking for help is one of the top ways that wealthy people become wealthy.
Yes.
They do not gatekeep. They sit and have conversations about what's working, where they're putting their money, what they're doing. But if we're being honest, in our households, we don't have those conversations. I share all the time. It's about to be summertime. We got Easter coming up, then we're gonna have Memorial Day, and then we have 4th of July. We know it's the same routine every year. But if we're being honest, when we get together in our communities, in our family circles, we're not having the conversations about, okay, Dominique, Dr. Tiffany, you guys are both in healthcare. You both are in the emergency field right now. What's working, what's not working, or what do you all really want to do, or what's the next phase? We're not having those conversations about, okay, well, such and such over here in healthcare, they're bringing in X amount annually. What are you guys bringing in at that institution? No. We got to have these conversations. I'm gonna have such and such call you. Like, that's what's happening in the households and in the community circles of the wealthy. In our households and communities, we're so tight-lipped. Like, literally, truly, if you do not open your mouth, closed mouths cannot get fed. We always knew this, but we're constantly not opening our mouths, and that's why we're not being fed. That's why we're repeating cycles of generational debt, and ultimately having all of this financial stress because it's too much weight on our shoulders. None of us are Jesus. That job is already taken.
Yeah, and we also need to delegate and forget about it. And if somebody else drops the ball, let them feel the consequences of it. I do that every day in my practice. I am having to repeat that. Stop, let go of control. Because guess what? It's a paradox. When you let go of control, you actually are being more in control. It's strange how it works. You got to let go. They say relate, relax, and release. That is one thing we definitely need to do. Let's see. Dr. Tiffany and Dominique, weigh in on this. I'm not calling on anybody. You jump right in.
I am going to jump in. Okay, I'm going to jump in and talk about self-care because I heard you guys say saying no. And every Sunday, I put out a little self-care bingo, and it may say entrepreneur self-care, but it's really for everybody. It's for women. And I want people to try to get that bingo, try to get that, connect all those in a row, or try to get a coverall. And I do have things on there like say no. You have to say no because if you're saying yes, you're taking time away from yourself and things you can be doing for yourself. And then I think I heard Dr. Alicia say, delegate. So I do put on there outsource. So things that somebody else can do that's going to take you a lot of time, you can outsource that. Okay, that's something you can outsource that collapse time for you, and you could be more productive and creative or make money, make those coins, change those coins to wealth, gives you more opportunity to do that as well. And then also you got to refuel. You cannot keep going on and giving others your time and your energy and being drained, and you're not taking time out for yourself. So very important to have some me time, whether that's at home with your vision board, whether that's at home with family and friends, taking a walk outside, reading a book you always wanted to read, listening to inspirational music. You have to take time and refuel for yourself. You got to do it. You got to do it because what happens if that car runs out of gas? It stops. And so you don't want that to happen. So you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah, and it's funny. And another paradox of it is that when you take time for yourself, you're actually helping everybody.
Yes, yes, that's
You
the
really,
thing.
that is the thing. And there's so many Black women in particular that they just can't sit down. They can't sit down. They always got to be moving. They always have to be looking for something. And I had to learn real quickly because I had 3 small children at one point. And I used to get embarrassed. People come to my house and be toys everywhere. And I got to the point where I was just like, mind you, I was trying to get tenure at my university. I was trying to juggle all that stuff. I convinced these people to like me. It was just really something. And eventually I was just like, something got to give. And people would come to my house and I'd be like, step over the toys. Let's just come on in and have a good time. And so when I just started letting all that go, I'm like, and now my kids are grown and I have a clean house. So it was just like, it wasn't a reflection of the fact that I wasn't a good mother or I wasn't a good wife. I had to switch some of that stuff for myself.
You have to.
Oh, Dominique, you want to talk about some of this too?
Yes. Yes. Self-care is very important. And I've learned that in my latter years, I would say most recently, probably within the past, I would say maybe 5-7 years or whatever, as far as like self-care, because, we do tend to put others above ourselves and let ourselves go. So, I make it a point for me personally to just, go get that massage, and not feel guilty about it, and so, us working ladies, we do so much, taking care of everybody else. And then when it comes time to spending money on ourselves, we feel guilty about it. And so just learning to not feel guilty about taking that time for yourself to get that pedicure, to get that manicure, or just to go eat, without the kids, or without the husband, or just taking care of yourself, and I'm learning that that's very important. And it all, like I said, all ties into, mental health and just making sure, as I said before, everything starts in the mind. So, if you get your mind right, then, you will, your finances will be right. Your physical health will be right. It all starts in the mind.
Beautiful. And let me tell you, self-care, ladies, everybody, you want to do self-care? How about self-care Sunday? Come on out. It is in Elmhurst, Illinois. That's just a suburb of Chicago. Everybody in the Chicagoland area and abroad, self-care. Do some self-care for at least do it for Women's History Month.
Right.
Okay. And do some self-care. Come on out March 29th. Who is in Chicago? Anybody watching from the Chicagoland area, say hi and chime in the chat. Let us know, because we want to see you guys there Sunday, March 29th from 12 to 4. That's beautiful. Lunch is provided. And there's the link in the chat about where to go to get your tickets. And that's a good time for you guys to carve out time for self-care, because in this particular event, we're going to have booths out. I'm going to have all my healing products. I'm bringing all my healing products out. Stuff I use for myself. I use it for myself all the time, every Sunday. So self-care is so important. Self-care is healthcare. And so time for you guys to take out time for yourself. And you can do that on Sunday, the last Sunday of Women's History Month. A great time to start fresh and to start taking out self-care for yourself by coming on Sunday from 12 to 4. And I feel like I saw the lineup. I know about the lineup, and it's going to be really amazing. All of us, all 4 of us, plus another one. It's going to be another one. Maybe she can join us too later on. Anyway, she's there, and we're all going to be talking and sharing our expertise. Okay, so everybody, before March 29th, I want everybody watching right now, y'all hit the share button, hit the like button, share this Y'all know people who live in Chicagoland area, share this link with them. Tell them to come on out. They don't want to miss it. Wellness meets wealth. Y'all need to hear this, okay? It's the 3M: money, menopause, and mental health. And I know it just seems as if it is 3 random things, but it's not. It all makes sense. So make sure you share this, because financial stress can impact your mental health, and that can impact your confidence, menopause, your identity, how you make decisions. All of these things are so important. And that's why we cannot treat money, menopause, and mental health as a separate conversation anymore. We have got to make it together. So when this shift happens, and when we stop separating all 3 of these, we're living one experience together. So we've been talking about self-care. We've been talking about saying no, how to delegate. We've been talking about clarity and how to be honest with ourselves. So I'm just curious, what then does it look like when a Black woman is truly supported and very knowledgeable in all of these areas? What does that look like? And anybody can go first.
Dominique. I'll go quickly. Dominique.
I was trying to unmute myself, but go ahead.
I did have something quickly because it just triggered my mind when you mentioned identity.
Yes.
As well, I believe naturally we don't think about it, but when we're stressed financially, when you're battling mental health, when you're unsure of what's happening with your body, it decreases the confidence. So we kind of hide more. It's like almost like this copism that just comes over us. And it's like, I'm just coping to get by. So then that all together brings down your personal identity.
Yes.
And our personal identity as women, like, we are children of God. We are daughters of the Most High. And what I always say, one of my favorite scriptures, not to bring, faith in this, I'm a big faith person, but one of my favorite scriptures as well is Isaiah 55:8. And if anybody knows Isaiah 55:8, it goes back to something you mentioned earlier too, Dr. Alicia, which is, my thoughts are not your thoughts. My ways are not your ways. And so often we're battling our own thoughts. We're battling what we think we should be doing. But God has already ordained that we are his daughters. Like, we are children of his. Like, so it's his thoughts that we should be walking with. So some of us are not realizing that as we're kind of hiding, as we're kind of shrinking, as we're playing small, that means our income is shrinking. Our income is going to be small. And so a lot of the things that we want in life will never be ours, because you can never out-earn your identity. You can never out-earn your identity, ladies. And so your identity needs to be here, and eventually your income would catch up. But if your identity stays here, you're going to forever have this law of the lid. You're forever going to be capped, and you're forever going to walk around like hanging your head low and walking with your head down and wondering why opportunities keep passing you. And it's because of that mindset. If we work on this mindset, we increase our identity, we increase our confidence. I promise you, the money will catch up.
Believe it or not, I was just talking about this today. I taught a class today. I teach a class in a graduate program. I just taught a class today about the thoughts, about being aware of your thoughts and understanding that just because it's your thought doesn't mean that you need to tie yourself to it. Do it anyway. Even though maybe you're just like, you know what, I'm not lovable. Maybe I'm not worthy, or whatever your thoughts are. Be aware of them. Awareness of them, separate yourself from them, and then just do it anyway. Go for it anyway. Apply for that job anyway. Start that business anyway. Speak your mind anyway. Maybe you're just wondering, maybe somebody won't like me if I'm being honest. Well, be honest anyway. Say what you need to say, because your mental health needs it. Be an entrepreneur. Start that business. Even though you have doubts in your head, you need to separate. We called it diffusion, the diffusion process. Diffuse yourself from your thoughts, because your thoughts is just, that's what it is. It's your brain. You are not your brain. And so that's really what I was saying just today. And it was like, the students were like, yeah, we got to do it. Even though you're nervous and you're scared, do it anyway, and having faith. Come on. Who is this? Who is this in the chat? The best thing I ever learned in my faith walk is not every thought is my thought. Find out who told you that. Who told you you weren't lovable? Who lied to you? Because whoever that person was lied to you. And you have to shrink it down. It lives too strong in you. Oh my gosh. Anyone who wants to weigh in on some of this? Let me know. You want to say something?
I'll say something. So
Yes.
with all these things, the mental health, the menopause, and the money, when all these things are supported, the women will have peace. They will feel peace and not pressure. They won't feel pressure. And they will no longer be in that state of survival, but they will feel supported and emotionally, physically, and empowered, when these things are all addressed at the same time. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And the fact that, you trigger something when you was like, just do it. Essentially, that's essentially what this event was for me. Like, just do it. The idea came last year and I was like, okay, I was like, so this is truly a step of faith for me, because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. It was triggered. The idea popped in my head last year. Let's make it happen. And I'm just glad that everything is coming together.
Peace is possible. Peace is possible. You don't have to live in stress. Stress is a choice. Because really, if you write down, I talk about this all the time. If you write down 5 things that you're stressed about, whatever those 5 things are, it's not those things that's stressing you out. It's your connection to those things that stress you out. So understand that. Maybe there's something you need to dig into. Maybe there's a connections that you need to make and release yourself from that. But you can live in a life that is peaceful and not stressful. It is a choice that you have to make. And part of the work that I do is, if you get into a relaxed body, you won't experience stress, because stress and a relaxed body cannot exist at the same time, which is why I have my healing products. And I'll be bringing them there, because you have to have some sort of, way to galvanize this. Okay, who wants, Dr. Tiffany, you want to weigh in on this?
So I do want to just weigh in. So basically, I did want to say, what does it look like? It looks like being empowered, being able to step up with the tools. You'll leave with the tools and tips that you need to be empowered to improve your life mentally, improve your mindset, going from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, to say, yes, I can, and not, no, I can't. I can get financially set at the life that I am right now. I can pay for college for my kids. I can take care of my parents and still take care of myself and retire. I can still take that trip, or I can still get that massage that I want. I can still take care of myself. So it's being empowered and telling other people no, and not feeling bad about telling people no. I do just want to shout out to a couple of our vendors that are going to be there. They're hardworking women, many of them. So we're going to have Rare Air Productions, Artistic Swag Boutique, Mobile Rad Net, The Treasure Gem, Ray of Hope, All Buttered Up, Cristallo, Let's Live Again, Mary Kay, Masterclass with Savory Sweet. If I'm forgetting anybody, Dominique, go ahead and hop in. We got a couple of sponsors as well. And these people said yes. They took that leap of faith. It's never going to be the perfect time. So if you're waiting for that perfect opportunity, you're waiting for that perfect time, you may go to a class or attend a webinar. You're taking all these notes. Each year you're taking notes on whether it's to invest in yourself, invest your money, invest your time, start that business. And those notes just collect. But at a certain point, you have to just do it. You have to just go ahead and do it, because something's always going to pop up. It's called life. So you have to do it.
Oh my goodness. If you're waiting, it's like, if you're not, even there's some people that just aren't even motivated, but don't wait until the motivation shows up. If you just take one small step, eventually it's the action that's going to get you to be motivated. People
Yes.
get that mixed up in their head. They really think that I'm just going to wait until I can feel it. I'm going to wait until I'm motivated. Well, that's never going to come if you just sit in the house, so the one small step, anybody, one small step, and the motivation comes after you take that step. So I really, really love this. Let me tell you, I'm going to put this in the chat yet again, you guys. This is an event that is happening on March 29th. So everybody who knows anybody in the Chicagoland area, hit the like button. I want you to share this conversation because we want people to come on out, and we want people to, even if you don't know, just take the behavior. The behavior has to come first, and the motivation and inspiration will come eventually. It will. Got trust and believe that's going to happen. And this is about wellness meeting wealth. It is a wonderful, excellent idea that Dominique and all her friends and Dr. Tiffany and everybody have cooked up. And I'm very excited about coming out and cooking. We're going to be cooking on Sunday. And I'm just really curious about what makes this event different from anything else. What kind of experience are women going to expect when they walk into this room on March 29th at Elmhurst? Where is it? Elmhurst?
Yeah.
What are they going to experience? What are we going to take with us? Maybe Dominique, you can take that question.
So I just want people to know that this isn't just another panel or feel good event, so to speak. We're talking real life issues, and we're giving them real life solutions. So there will be resources for people here. So we're basically connecting the dots for the people between mental health, money, and menopause. We want people to not just be inspired, but like I said, we will have resources for people and next steps and tools for ladies. And again, I want people to know that it is a safe space. After each speaker, we will have a panel for you ladies to be able to ask questions of our speakers. We want to basically equip you guys for this next season of your lives. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure if these all topics have been done together. So that's what another thing I think is unique about it. I know people have had conferences specifically on menopause, specifically only on finances, but when you bring them all together, I think, we're encompassing the whole picture of us ladies.
Let me tell you, this is the first time ever. I don't think I've ever seen it before. And at first I'm like, wow, money, menopause, mental health. Then I said, yeah, this actually makes sense. I can see how all of this comes together for everybody. Yes. All right, let's see. Dr. Tiffany, you want to talk about what people can expect?
Yes, I just want to say it is a safe space. So I know how sometimes you go to a conference and you don't feel comfortable even talking to the person next to you. But ladies, this is a safe space. No one's going to judge you. This is a safe space. We're talking about money. We're talking about personal health. We're talking about mindset. And like Dominique said, we have resources and tools for people. So even after you leave the event, so yeah, you're going to get all this good stuff and information through the speakers while you're there, but you'll also have some takeaways, some tangible takeaways to take away with you as well. So we got you.
Betty's feeling us. Hey, Betty, how you doing? Betty feeling us. Okay, join this conversation. Okay, Kiana Hughes, how about you? What do you anticipate? Who needs to be in the room? Who needs to be in the room?
Everyone needs to be in the room. Do not second guess yourself. Remember, I just told you all, your thoughts are not his thoughts. He's telling you to get in the room. But ultimately, I would say what definitely is going to separate this from just another women's event, just another panel, as Dominique was mentioning, is we're about that action. Like, if you know me and what I'm going to bring, this is just a sprinkle of it, actual tangible information that you can take away. Actually, I'll have my team on site for ladies to schedule free consultations. We do not charge for our services, to literally help put some resources, financial resources in place. Middle-class America does not have a savings problem. Middle-class America has an income problem. And so we have to be honest that some of us may be working in careers that we really, really love. Some of us may be working at places where every day we go in there and we asking ourselves, why am I here? I've asked myself that plenty of times when I was working corporate, but we're not actually having the solutions to actually get out of the current circumstance that we're in. So we're bringing solutions, we're bringing the action, and we're bringing the on-site resources that ladies can literally walk away and go into Q2 on fire, because we're going into the second quarter of the year, ladies.
That's right. Q2. Okay.
Right.
You sound like you're still in corporate. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's, as we round it up today, we've talked about some wonderful topics today. And how about we just have everybody reintroduce yourself to some of the folks that are just, we'll start with Dr. Tiffany this time. Reintroduce yourself, talk a little bit about what we are, how people can get a hold of you. How about that? How people can get a hold of you, and before we end for tonight.
Well, thanks, Dr. Alicia, for having us. Again, I'm Dr. Tiffany Delane, also known as the Gym Strategist. I'm a business coach and consultant, as well as I am a serial entrepreneur. I have a CPR business, as well as a consulting business. People can reach me on Instagram. I'm known as the Gym Strategist on there, as well as Tiffany Delane Global Consulting. And then also on Facebook as the Gym Strategist, Dr. Tiffany, under my author page. So hope to see you on Sunday.
Oh my God, you just rattled off like 5 different businesses we talking about. We ain't got grass ain't growing under your feet. Okay. Miss Host, the host of the day of the event, please let everybody know where they can find you in parting words.
So you guys can find me on Instagram, and as my handle is Zenon, Zenon 1989. You can find me on Facebook as Dominique Zenon, as well as I'm on TikTok as Zenon 1989. So you can follow me. I do post things in regards to just finances, because again, as I said in the beginning, I'm not sure if everyone was on here from the beginning, but I am a licensed financial professional as well. I do work with Kiana. So I do have topics on my social media that you can listen, and follow.
All right. Okay. Kiana, tell us where people can find you and any parting words that you'd want to have for everybody.
Sure. So Kiana Hughes, owner of Coins to Wealth Financial Services. You can find more information about my company at coins2wealth.com. You can connect with me directly on Facebook. My name, Kiana Hughes. Instagram, Wealthy Diva, DIVA_Q. And on TikTok as Miss Coins to Wealth. And parting words is, we should all be wealthy. Stop playing small. We should all be wealthy. Millionaire loading. Go get it.
Come on, millionaire loading.
Yes.
Come on. Okay, I want to thank y'all for this conversation. I think it's exactly what women really need right now. And hey, everybody, if you guys have been listening and something resonated with you guys, if you've been holding it together, trying to figure it out on your own, you don't have to do that anymore. Join us on Sunday. Wellness meets wealth. It's the 3M, I had to write it down, 3M experience for women. Menopause, yes, it's happening, or it's fixing to happen. Menopause, mental health, we have to have sound mental health, and money. And it's at the Elm West Banquet in Elmhurst, Illinois, just a suburb of Chicago, from 12 to 4 p.m. Sunday, March 29th. Lunch is provided. We'll have booths set up. You're going to listen to all of us say a little bit more. We're going to dig in a little deeper, and we'll have a panel conversation. I think it's going to be really, really wonderful. Vendors, resources, opportunities to network. You can network with women who are on a similar journey. Please register. Let me put the link in. Let me put all the information in the chat one more time, because we want y'all to come on in the room, come into the room, be supported. Give yourself permission to experience something different. I want to thank all of you guys for being here tonight, and we'll see you on March 29th. Oh, and if anybody wants to, I gotta do my own thing. Okay, anybody is interested in learning more about, anybody wants my products, go to healingwithdralicia.com. That's all my self-care products. These are products I use. So they work for me, and I do believe they will work for you. By the way, I also have a retreat coming up, a healing retreat. It is in Costa Rica at the end of the year. And let me tell you, the end of the year, this chaos will be done. We'll be back on airplanes. I trust and believe that's downloading too. We're going to be, we will have a beautiful way to carve out time for yourself. This is self-care, everybody. And of course, you can follow me on the gram. I want everybody to follow me on the Instagram. And here I am, coaching with Dr. Alicia. I'm putting it all out there now. Anybody want to work with? Oh, I also on Sunday night, tomorrow night, I have a free book club for anybody. Go to draliciabookclub.com and join us. We're talking about mental health. We're talking about self-discovery, and we're also talk about healthy relationships. Hello, putting those boundaries in place. That's totally free. So you can join me on Sunday night for my book club. Is totally free. What's not free is my services and my brain. So come to coachingwithdralicia.com if you want to pay for something. Y'all want to pay for my time, because, come on. Anyway, so I want to thank you guys for being there, everybody. Be sure to like and share. Y'all know, everybody knows somebody from Chicago. So be sure to like and share. Goodbye, everybody. Bye, Rhonda. Bye. Look at this. Bye, Clarence. I see you, Clarence, Costa Rica. Yes.
Good last minute question, Clarence. Good last minute question.
Oh, he said, how can men contribute to existing conditions? We got to get Clarence question. Clarence, men, fellas, what can fellas do? Let's answer this question. We ain't ready to wrap it up yet. Who wants to take that? What the fellas need to do? Anyone can take it.
I would say just, be in tune with your significant other, and recognize that, I'm quite sure if you're a guy, you probably had a mother or grandmother who went through some menopause, challenges. And so just be in tune with your significant other and pay attention to her needs, and just be in tune. Don't be like, oh, okay, she's crazy. Maybe she's going through some menopause changes. Maybe she's going through those hot flashes. Maybe, the pressures of life is all come, hitting her like a brick wall, so to speak. So that's what I would say. Just kind of be in tune with her and her body and the things she's going through. That's what I would suggest. I mean, what do you say, Dr. Tiffany?
I would echo that. I would say give her grace, because she's learning these new changes about her body as well. So from hot flashes to being hot one minute, then all of a sudden she's chilled and she's cold. So those are part of the symptoms of menopause, from the low estrogen that's going on in her body, to night sweat. So maybe at nighttime you're in bed with your significant other and she's like, you know what? Open that window. I don't care if it's below zero, but I'm hot. And maybe you as the husband are like, what is going on? So just being patient. Sometimes the hormonal changes can affect the mood. She may seem indecisive at times, but just know all of this is part of that process, and that she's working through it as well. So give her grace.
Patience. Kiana, you got something to say?
Yeah, I'll just add, it's almost taboo, but some ladies just need a little help with you all lightening the load. She's walking around as Superwoman because that's the stigma that we've taken on. But go ahead and wash the laundry. Go ahead and fold. Go ahead and load the dishwasher. Go ahead and let her hire a house cleaner, like a housekeeper, to come in. So those things, and I love what Rhonda said. Yes, hugs are awesome as well.
Hugs are awesome. I love that. That was a beautiful question to end with. So thank you, everybody, and I'll be back. I'll be back on here sometime, jumping back in. Great info. Look at Clarence. Clarence saying great info. Those are the things I do. All right, Clarence is a good.
That's a good man, Savannah.
Good one. That's a good man, Savannah. All right, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.